on to the linebacking core. I see where Andre White moves on to Georgia Tech. Andre White, 35 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, was a top 10 tackler on the team. So besides that, how do we shape up at linebacker?
Yeah, I think this is an area, and you know, I'm gonna be watching closely. I think a lot of people are gonna be watching closely in the spring, and still kind of taking the question of, is this an area A&M still looks to add to in the transfer portal? I think it's certainly something they could look to do. They lost a couple linebackers in the transfer portal. They signed 3 last year in Damian Sanford, Torian York, and Chance Johnson. Now, are any of those 3 ready to step on the field and contribute right away? I'm not sure about that. I think all 3 of them are probably going to have some development in front of them. Edgerrin Cooper's a, a big deal to have him back. There was some questions this offseason, and some, frankly, by him himself, like he put on Snapchat that he was thinking of transferring, and that obviously sent everybody into a massive panic. He's a Louisiana native, so you can imagine if he had gone across to LSU and in the transfer portal, that certainly would have been a huge problem. But he announced he's returning for another year in Aggieland, and I think that's just a massive deal for this linebacker room. They really need him to be that leader of the room. Chris Russell's also back, and those are gonna kind of be the 2 veteran pieces to this linebacker room this offseason. But um, Martrell Harris is another guy that saw some action last year, flashed at times, and has an important spring ahead of him to kind of take the next step. But I really do wonder if this is a room that they can still kind of maybe add to. Mason Cobb is a guy that they targeted early on in the transfer portal and really felt good about him, and he ends up at USC, and they just haven't been connected to a lot of other linebackers. But it's going to be a position group to watch how they perform in the fall or how they perform in the spring, and a question of whether they still need to add somebody into that room.
Got Andrew Hattersley on the line from Gig'em 247 Sports. Jump on over to Texas A&M site there on 247, Gig'em 247, to check out Texas A&M football prep for the spring, and of course basketball with March Madness coming fast.